Hey guys, so I wanted to take some time because I know part of this channel is dedicated to me just vlogging. The other part of it is just a whole bunch of random crap, and the last part of it, and the part that I originally intended it to be, is about school. And a lot of that falls into the life category with me just vlogging. But another part of that involves guiding. And I feel like by making that my responsibility in a way, I guess you could view it as, that means clearing things up for all of you younger than me, which are the current freshmen and current 8th graders that will either be moving further into high school, obviously, like moving to the halfway point or to the beginning. Why does that hurt? So, random pain. I think I have something digging into me and I don't enjoy it. Anyway, my sleeves like to get stuck around mid elbow area. So in making part of my responsibility guiding you guys, that involves making things known about further years, specifically things that I wish I'd known. So all of you parents of current freshmen and current 8th graders that might be watching this, take note, because you're getting a high schooler's viewpoint and it could be valuable. That way you can talk to your child about this and make sure that they understand. Because I'm going to be talking from the point where I understand, which not necessarily everybody feels the same, obviously. And also want all of you youngins, all of you freshmen, all of you 8th graders to pay attention to what I'm saying, because even though you don't think you're gonna need it, you'll want to know this before you hit where I'm at, because it caught me off guard. And I don't want you guys to have to go through that cluelessness that I went through. So that leads me to AP classes. As you know, if you've been watching my videos for any period of time. If you don't know, I've been taking honors classes since freshman year. I enrolled in one freshman year. I'm in 2 currently, and I'm planning on continuing my route of higher level education because I think it's incredibly valuable. And I know it's going to benefit me in the long run more than if I just stuck with general education classes, which I will refer to as Gen Ed, if you guys haven't heard of that. So I do take general ed, I do take Gen Ed classes. Most of my classes are Gen Ed. I am, like I said, only in 2 honors, as well as I just recently joined a varsity level choir, and such. I love my honors classes. I love my honors teachers. Both of my teachers are kind of, they're different in their methods, definitely. And that is both good and bad. I mean, one is language arts and one is history. So obviously that's the path that I go down, is I like my language arts and I like my history. I'm not so much math based, and I have always loved writing, stuff like that. So a lot of my classes are based on what I know I like and what I know, what I think I know I can do. A lot of times I do need more challengers. A lot of times I need less challenges. And not all teachers are so open to changing and developing for every student, or finding a method that they can explain to each student what works. I know a lot of math teachers that I've had struggle with developing a teaching method that includes the learning styles of all the students in the class, which is pretty much different for every student, but still. But yeah, so along with honors just being good in challenges and just what I like to do, it comes with benefits of a weighted grade, which I didn't know about until I started. So basically, and this is kind of introductory for the 8th graders, this is the freshmen, I'll know. But I want to talk about the weighted grade because it goes a lot with the AP track and stuff like that. Because if you're on the honors track, you're automatically, unless you drop down, you're automatically on the AP track, and nobody wants to drop down when they're in honors because you get so used to the honors method and you kind of train yourself on how to focus and how to just do that dropping down, you don't you don't do anything. It's the easiest thing you can do is to drop down, and it's the most detrimental, as it turns out. I got a lot of information in the last 2 days over this, so basically a lot of what I'm saying is coming from teachers' mouths, and coming from AP teachers' mouths and dual enrollment teachers' mouths. And I didn't even know what dual enrollment was until I got into high school. I didn't know it existed. So I will go into that as well later on in the video. But weighted grade, which is where I was. A weighted grade is, so the weight goes into your GPA. Basically, most colleges look at your unweighted GPA, but they look at your weighted one too, of course. Basically, what your unweighted GPA is you would have an unweighted GPA if you were just in regular general education classes, which is if you get an A, it's 4 points, if you get a B, it's 3 points, if you get a C, it's 2 points, if you get a D, it's 1 point, and if you get an F, it's no points because you failed that course. And then basically you add up the total points from all your courses, divide it by, I have 6 classes, so I got A's in 6 classes, so you would add up 4 divided by 4, and it would come out, and you would have a 4.0 GPA. Add up the 4 6 times, it's finding the, what does that mean, basically. And a weighted GPA is what you get when you're on the honors AP track, is basically everything kind of bumps up a point minus the D. The D and the F are still 1 and 0. But a C becomes a 3 instead of a 2, a B becomes a 4 instead of a 3, and an A becomes a 5 instead of a 4. So instead of 4 3 2 1 0, it's 5 4 3 1 0. And I feel like it helps your class rank. That's what the honors AP system is developed basically to do, is to help you get a higher class rank. Like, you can't be in the top 10% of your class without taking honors AP classes. And you're noticing I'm not including dual enrollment in this because dual enrollment doesn't have a weighted grade like AP does and like honors does. Or not honor, yeah, honors. So I just hit myself on accident on the desk. It didn't feel nice. So honors is a great thing. Honors, I noticed all my honors teachers that I've had, the 3 that I've had have been fantastic. I've gotten all the good honors teachers though that haven't piled us down with loads and loads of work, because I know there are 2 honors English teachers in freshman year in 9th grade. One of them considerably more work than the other. I got the one that did not give considerably more work. He gave kind of the minimal, and I really appreciated that. It was helpful. And I ended up, I went back into one of his classes this year with cinema studies, because I thought he was a great teacher. Albeit he's very introverted, so it's amusing that he's a teacher in a way. My honors language arts teacher this year, I love her. She's the sweetest teacher that I've had since 5th grade. She is the nicest teacher that I've had. She genuinely cares about each of her students, and you can tell she wants to build like an individual relationship with each of her students, as well as the class as a whole. And I think everybody really appreciates that. Like, everybody loves her. And so far she's probably the favorite teacher that I've had at this school. Just, I love her, I adore her. She is fantastic. And then I also really like my history teacher, my honors history teacher. She's very nice. I don't think she puts necessarily as much effort out to really make a relationship with you. She's kind of meet in the middle. Like, if you want to talk to me, join my club, etc., etc. As opposed to some of the other teachers, like I said, that will go out of their way to talk to you and see what's going on with you. Not that my language arts teacher necessarily does that all the time, but yeah. But I know a lot of the honors teachers like to build relationships with their students, which is really appreciated by the entire class, you can tell. What else do I want to talk about? And I've heard fantastic stories of all of the AP and the dual enrollment teachers. Okay, so now I'll get down to the explanation of AP, dual enrollment, and the differences. AP is advanced placement, obviously. The point of AP is you're in a class with obviously all of the other people. And the main difference is the styles. AP, you're basically taking college level curriculum, but the whole point of AP and dual enrollment is to get college credits while still in high school. So basically, if you take enough of them, you can go into college as a freshman or a sophomore, as a freshman, as a sophomore, or a junior, depending on how many you take. You can get a semester out of the way, you can get a year out of the way. There was somebody that one of the teachers that was speaking was talking about, the one as a junior. So they had to take like 2 years. I'm sorry, my voice goes. Which is honestly, and they do cost money. Both of them cost money. AP, you only pay for the exam. So basically, in AP, you're learning all the curriculum, college level, and there are differences in curriculum between AP and dual. But you're learning all of that and kind of all working together to get yourselves that higher level, while still being very competitive. And if you don't like a competitive class, obviously AP isn't necessarily the greatest option. If you don't want to be like fighting your way, because the exam is what it all comes down to. And in the exam, you get a score from 1 to 6, or a 1 to 5, I don't really know. They always say if you get a 3 to 5, you get the college credit, so apparently 6 is like not possible. Or they just said 6 and they meant 5. I'm not totally sure how that all worked. But basically, that exam, you get the 3 or higher, and you get college credit, although you have to check with the college that you want to go to and make sure that it is 3 or higher, because some do 4 or higher only, and some take it more as elective credits, and others take it more as other credits. Then comes dual enrollment, which is more of a college class. Dual enrollment, you are enrolled in the high school, obviously, getting rid of that high school credit. Oh, by the way, AP has the weighted grades. So you get an A, you get 5 points, basically. And even if you don't pass the exam, you can still pass the class and get your weighted GPA and get your score. If you can get an A and fail the exam, and you lose all the money that you paid for the exam, which can be anywhere from $75 to $90, I've heard. Yeah. But you still, you know, pass the class. It's not all dependent upon the exam. And the exam is more of an optional thing. With dual enrollment, you pay up front to start the class. You're enrolled in high school, getting rid of your high school credit, and you are enrolled in the community college, getting a college credit as well. So if you get a C or higher in the class, you automatically get the college credit. Dual enrollment doesn't have the weighted GPA like AP does, so if class rank is a big thing for you, you're probably gonna want to go more of the other route, the AP route. If I lost my train of thought right there, I apologize. But like I said, the weighted grade, big deal for some people. Dual enrollment, another thing about dual enrollment is you end up saving money, and that's the thing, is that it does cost roughly $100 per semester. So obviously if you're taking a year-long class, you're paying $200, which seems like a lot. It does, and I know not everybody is equipped to pay that money, but it saves you money in the long run because you're getting college credits out of the way, which is one less class that you have to take, which is one less $1,000 that you have to pay, because taking the classes at a community college, okay, so taking the classes at my high school, it's about $100 per semester, so a year is $200. At the community college, it's about $300 per semester. Obviously the year is $600, and that's for one class. All of this is one class, and then taking it at the 4-year, at the university level, at the university costs about $500. So that's obviously about $1,000 per year, or not per year, sorry, per class. That is a year long, so it ain't cheap, but you know, in the long run, it tends to be pretty worth it. I have booklets here they got, and I'm gonna go to this one first, and just give you guys some ideas of some of the AP classes that are offered. Oh, and one last thing. Taking the honors AP and or dual enrollment routes, and you can take both AP and dual, you can't take them in the same class. Well, you could, you just, I don't know what you'd want to. The example that was given today was if you're putting a 3.6 roughly in your classes, but you are taking AP and dual enrollment and you've taken honors, all that, versus being a complete gen ed student, pulling a 4.0, the college is going to most likely pick you because you're the one that is working, you're the one that's challenging yourself, you're trying hard to get the upper hand. And colleges appreciate competition, colleges appreciate that aspect of everything, so they are much more likely to pick somebody that is in honors AP. So there are 38 courses that are listed in these two columns. So you're probably going to be able to find something that you'd like that you can take AP in. So we have art history, and I believe my school offers all of these. I don't think necessarily every school offers them, and I know some schools technically don't offer AP. I know I was talking to my friend and she said her school doesn't offer AP, but they kind of do. I forget exactly what it was. It's weird though. They're biology, calculus AB and calculus BC, chemistry, Chinese language and culture, computer science A, computer science AB, macroeconomics, microeconomics, English language and composition and English literature and composition, environmental science, French language, French lit, literature, you guys don't know, German language, comparative government and politics, US government and politics, European history, US history, world history, human geography, Italian language and culture, Japanese language and culture, Latin literature, Latin Virgil, music theory, physics B, physics C, electricity and magnetism, and physics C, mechanics, psychology, which I'm planning on taking. I'm very excited for that. I believe I have that senior year. Russian language and culture, Spanish language, Spanish literature, statistics, studio art drawing portfolio, studio art 2D portfolio, and studio art 3D portfolio. So there's kind of something for everybody on there, whether you like music, whether you like art, whether you like science, language arts, history, there's something on there for everybody. And this just kind of went over and talked about. I have this nifty little chart in this one. This nifty little chart right here. Right here. That says AP college success. Students who take AP courses and exams are much more likely than their peers to complete a bachelor's degree in 4 years or less. So the green bar is no AP, that's 1 AP, and that's 2 or more AP in the green, or the blue, sorry, not the green. So with no AP, you have a 29% completion rate. With 1 AP, you have a 45% completion rate. And with 2 or more APs, you have a 61% completion rate. So I just want you all to consider your options carefully. It is very important because high school leads right into college, and this is your future. It's important to think about. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. If not, I will bring them up with the teacher and give you their answer. And yeah. So I will see you all in my next video.